Hey, Chris Liepe here. Most of my analysis videos on this channel tend to focus a lot on vocal technique, some on music, songwriting, and initially when I found Ren, that's what I was doing. I was laser focused on what he was doing with his voice. But the more and more I get into him, the more I realize that, his voice is incredible. His musicianship is absolutely incredible. But what's even more incredible is the way that he uses these as accessories for some of the best and tools for some of the best storytelling I have ever witnessed. I see that this is over 10 minutes long. This is not a song. This is a short film.
Anger. Have you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent.
All right, before we get into the real voice, or Ren's physical voice, we have to talk about the voice that was just going. He plays guitar like he sings. It's a voice. You know, with all of the highly produced, programmed, meticulous focus on perfection when it comes to guitar playing, that's all over YouTube. It's so refreshing to have this like raw, noisy, vulnerable, imperfect statement made. But you can hear in the pacing, I just want to go back a little bit here. Right there. You've got this call and response thing happening. It's not just rattling off a bunch of scales. And then the way that he's bending those notes and picking really hard, but then picking softly, and then bending out of pitch, and then having this sort of spazzy cry sound with... There's expressions that you know that this stuff was going on in his head and maybe even in his voice as he was planning out what he was doing with his guitar. This is a great way to play guitar, and it's so relatable. It's not about technique. It's not about being on. It's about reflecting the expressiveness of his real voice in this instrument. And how completely ridiculous, right? To have a 10-minute song that opens up with this muddy, messy punk guitar solo. Doesn't happen much anymore.
you ever felt anger with nowhere to place it? Vincent felt cold, neglected and jaded, impotent, empathy castrated. Look for the new thing, always look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect.
I read the lyrics that he had pinned in the comment before watching this, and I was wondering how certain stanzas were going to sound. And it's fun. You kind of get surprised, like, oh, that's how he's delivering that part. I highly recommend doing that, by the way, reading lyrics beforehand so you can hear how they're actualized in context. It makes it more fun.
Look for the new thing, but never look inside, never look within, without, above, below, same thing. Wait, it gets deeper than that. The insane thing is sane men living in insane terrain, contort insane brains that are kind of deranged, strange, without the factor of cause and effect. Factually, the man's a casualty of constant neglect. Let's start at the start. Vincent was born in the dark, home birth to a mother, painted scars on her arm. Track march from the dragon, China white in the palm. Shooting up the birth canal, Vinny fell out like yarn. Tumbled out, himself unraveling, and that was the theme. Exceptionally average grade, sprayed with low self-esteem. From the fire to the frying pan, painting it green. When it's the cash that rules everything around me. Cream, get the money, funny Vinny. He weren't ever good at hustling, shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing.
We saw these pedals down there initially when the camera came in. So this is all performed live, and he's looped in certain things that he's queuing up, and that's how he's able to solo over that clean guitar. And now he's actually playing live while he's singing. Cool and seamless.
Cycle is a cycle for a hustling shitty jobs that he was dead and stocking. Started a combustion, nothing. Pulled him out of debt, the debt collector's rushing to be stripping him of everything. Eventually, there's nothing. The cycle is a cycle for a psychopath on ice. The day repeats, the days are weeks, the weeks are most your life. When the day's done, it's the same one. It's a repeat, it's a rerun. A deja vu religion, a foreboding of a prison. Whole Britain, Great Britain, how Britannia ruled the waves. We started out with intentions and we ended up like slaves. Drink to kill the tension, but the drinks cost your wage. What helps you is what kills you when you're living to decay.
What helps you is what kills you when you're living to decay. Or, and we're all decaying. Even as we feel like we're getting better, even as we feel like we're getting help. What? Okay. For a minute, I thought it was a slide for his guitar. No.
And so it goes. Vinny starts to drink to let go. Soon he's drinking, cause when he don't drink, every day is a day on death row. So he drinks so we don't have to think.
Listen to that run again.
So we drink so we don't have to think.
Listen to how his voice thins ever so slightly as it goes high. He's totally free up there, not pushing to it at all.
It's a day on death row. So we drink so we don't have to think.
Not my, but my. It gets a little witchy. He's preserving some rasp. He's using just a little bit of fry up there as well. But this idea that even though he's being intense and totally in the moment, he's trained his muscle memory to be able to access those high notes and sort of float around. That's why he's even more agile with his voice as he goes higher, as opposed to like, oh, I gotta hit these notes. That's a high set of notes. But because he's utilizing a mix to get up there, he can do it fairly easily and then put the intensity where it counts in the delivery.
We drink so we don't have to think.
And then his classic C, where he tapers his intensity off as he enters into vibrato. It's not C. He doesn't have a heavy vibrato state, and I love this about his voice. C. There's this head voice component to his vibrato, regardless of where he is in his range.
Taste bittersweet.
Yeah.
When the spirit that's inside of him.
Side of him. That's also really cool. You can hear him going into fry. It's almost like a stop on his vibrato. Between that and his head voice accessibility on his vibrato, he has this like immediate footprint, at least in my ear. Like, oh, that's Ren. The way he deals with his vibrato and fry in his vibrato and head voice with his vibrato. If you'd like to learn how to do some of these things with your own voice, and as a result be able to express so much more freely and creatively, I can help you. Click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free singing course. I'll help you do things with your voice you never thought possible by throwing off judgment and leaning into new sensations and even emotions.
Sinks in his teeth. And the months turn over, May to October. More days pissed than the days he spent sober. Skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on your shoulder. A cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose. Bad decision and taboos when we're living for the booze. Who's who he lose himself to? 1, 2, many 1, 2, 3 shots down.
The way he plays with his voice, even when he's not really singing.
And sober, skin looks older, demeanor gets colder. Sledgehammer swing to that chip on.
Sledgehammer swing, swing, swing. Voice crack, right? Head voice into chest voice. He leans in. He makes it a point of vulnerability, intentional vulnerability. Doesn't avoid a voice crack. And then he uses his break even more artistically here in a second.
Your shoulder, a cold prison deep in alcoholism. 40% proof, no juice. Inhibition get loose. Bad decision and taboos when we're living.
Every time there's the ooh, ooh, ooh sound, he goes up into head voice again.
For the booze, who's who he lose himself to? 1, 2, many 1, 2, 3 shots down. Drown those sorrows up in London town. If we in for a penny, we in for a pound. Fate comes full circle. Now it's Vinny Boy's round.
Oh! We have a 2-for-1.
Sirens start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance.
My right to remain violent.
Sirens start singing as the screws murder silence. Stand on my Miranda, my right to remain violent. One man's resistance is another man's tyrant. When tyrants make the law, they go to war with non-compliance. Locked up, Vinny been locked up since his mother knocked up. Kitty grew up fast, pulled his socks up. Chop, chop, keep that credit top. Time is money, tick-tock. Quantify the price upon your soul and then it's...
I love the little video sideways blurs that are happening every once in a while on rhythm.
Pop shop. Not particularly special. Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle. Bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad. Falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash.
That was a really nice touch. A way to make this setting where he's like in the back rapping more interesting and make your eyes just do something else. He caught my attention all over again. Now he's just jamming there. Even though his voice is still going, he's not mouthing the words anymore, but the lyrics come straight up. It creates a different emphasis, and like it makes 2 sets out of 1, sort of.
It's chop shop. Not particularly special. Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building pressure in the kettle. Bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man,
I don't think he's mouthing the words there.
Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues. Turned a hide into a jackal. Building.
Oh, maybe he is.
Upon on your soul and then it's chop shop. Not particularly special, Vinny spent his life a vessel for the musings of the devil. Repetition caused some issues, turned a hide into a jackal. Building
right
pressure
there, yeah.
in the kettle, bubble up to boiling level. Ooh man, he's a mad lad, falling on the warpath. Vinny split the atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash, copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope, some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim.
Oh, the minions coming in there.
Atom like a Nagasaki bloodbath. Skies are raining black ash, copper car lights flash. Red and blue kaleidoscope, some folks don't like that. Never mind, just a victim of society. The
Reminds me of very deranged Queen.
one that serves you alcohol and sells you your sobriety. The one that sells you sex as it pedestals virginity. The one where we elect these lying pests with God ability. 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 1. Our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like 9 to the 9 to the 9 for his Christ time.
Do you hear how he's sort of leaning back into his voice? Interesting vocal posture. More desperation. Again, he plays with his voice in ways that emote so strongly. And it's not about lots of different techniques. It's about a range of character. That's always the way I felt about his voice. And it was so cool to hear that come out in such an obvious way in his guitar playing too.
God ability. 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 1. Our boy spun his own web-fed tarantulas come like 9 to the 9 to the 9 for his...
Because he's on the ragged edge. If you want to get this sound out of your voice, it's not about shouting more. It's actually about sort of partially sighing the whole time. There's a bit more rasp, and then every once in a while it'll crack more. It's like you go from confident and forward, to sort of finding where you might break if you were to sigh too much, and then riding that, and then pushing into it. You get that desperate sound out of your voice.
On his own web-fed tarantulas come like 9 to the 9 to the 9 for his Christ timelines intersect. Rich's fate was designed.
Ah!
Paint the picture, set the scene. It's 2019. Richard and a boy named Screech. The hands of fate, they touch and reach. Siblings buried, blood it bleeds. Etched in Richard's memories. Force a model, troubled sleep. Takes a time of absently. Hitting the bottle to soften the blow. In the walls of yourself and there's nowhere to go. And his friends on the force, they don't call, they don't show. Go to therapy, regularly seem to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo. And so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed. Cause the motive was...
That was cool.
Go to therapy, regularly seemed to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo. And so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed cause the motive was...
Time it moved slow-mo. The pacing kept up, but the pitch went down. Tasty. Tasty, tasty. Things didn't actually slow down.
Rebound no yo-yo and so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth. But dying womb life brings the cycle of samsara. Always was quite amusing. Brother killed his sister but the record seemed to show the brother never met his sister.
Or did it slow down just a little bit?
Mojo no mono rebound to therapy, regularly seemed to plateau. When his popo went loco and woe so low that his mojo no mono rebound no yo-yo. And so the time it moved slow-mo. You see the case was never closed cause the motive was confusing. Orphan killed his sister but his sister was removed when the mother died in childbirth. But dying womb life brings the cycle of...
It stayed the same tempo, but we had that dip, that artificial electronic dip that actually, and his pacing on his rap, the subdivision slowed down a little bit, and so we did get this sense of
Sarah always was quite amusing. Brother killed his sister but the record seemed to show the brother never met his sister.
And now we got a swing in there.
Even though so the tragedy was a catastrophe, a fate fucked up. Rich is losing sleep while his whole family's talked up.
3 or 4 songs. It could be 3 or 4 songs in one.
The 5 stages of grief is a common psychological model often used to provide reassurance to all those stricken by loss. for loss comes with a cost like frostbite, shockingly cold, paving the road to decomposure, decomposing your soul. One, denial, pretending for a while, reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile, how to reconcile when murdering a child. The second stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger, damn the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God
Hear how musical his rapping is, like half singing.
Lost the will to smile.
Da 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 da, but not quite. This is the kind of thing you cannot do if you are too set on, as a singer, hitting notes, being true to a particular preconception of what your voice should be doing, right? There's so much non-judgment in what Ren does when he puts himself out there. He is so free. All these different ways of expressing and tying into different sorts of characters come so naturally because he's not judging what comes out.
Reality retired, but everything is changing. Richie lost the will to smile, how to reconcile when murdering a child. The second stage is anger, feel it bubbling the bile. Anger, damn the man that served the hand that wrote the plan. If God is will that's good and grand, then damn we are. We all are damn forsaken by creation. Revelations, Richard cannot stand. The third stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live.
I like how for a minute their mouths were in sync. They were saying some of the same things, but it wasn't cheesy in that they were trying to say the same thing at the same time for a long period of time. There was just there was enough overlap to tie in Ren as the narrator.
I'm forsaken by creation, revelations, Richard cannot stand. The third stage is bargaining, begging God for second chance. Lord, I know it is a reach, but I'm begging on my knees. Resurrect the
on my knees, begging on my knees.
Boy James, resurrect the boy Screech. I'll devote my life to thee, I will live a life of peace. Stage 4 is depression, that's a lesson taught in grief. Depression, demonic like possession, that feeds upon this spark for life. No water is refreshing, no sunlight brings him warmth, no sleep will ever bring rest in. His guilt and doubt are oh so loud, the silence sounds so deafening. Depression, depression, the numbing of expression, the negative obsession, ruminating in oppression. Stressing is a lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance.
So jarring. Just gotta go back and hear that transition again.
The lesson when your mind begins reflecting. That's stage number 5. 5 is acceptance. Souls get shaken up. The road's never quite ideal, but slow rise, dust it off. And let me tell you something, Richie, man, I'm proud, cause you pulled a stitch from the seam, the wound was open weeping. Felt like a regression, but that flesh was set for healing. You wrestled imperfections, misdirections, walked with demons. Most demons are a fallen angel, truth has double meanings. Perspective disconnects the trauma, trauma turns to lessons. The biggest curse you'll ever face could be your greatest
heartbreaking
blessing. Remember, in the darkest times, no need for second guessing. No path is ever linear, a stumble leads to stepping. You're a soldier, a scholar of life's sorrow, and day follows day. There will always be tomorrow when it gets colder. Whatever, it's only weather. Rain feeds the crops, let them grow, think clever. I'm so fucking proud of you, Richie, my boy. I know you're itchy, my boy, to get to work and deploy. Serve and protect my don, in for the right reason. I know you think you've done wrong, but look at who you become. It's your first day at work, big man. Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Oh, the synergy between what Ren's saying, get your head up, what could go wrong? And you see that anxiety on his face. Wow. That's good. That's good. Good acting.
It's your first day of
good experiencing, right? Experiencing the story.
What, big man? Hold that head up high, my friend. Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Oh, man.
Come on. We're all proud of you, Richie. I hope you get out there and smash it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Oh. It really puts you in tune with the times that you have felt those different stages of grief. And leaves you hanging. Wow. And I couldn't get enough of the actor's portrayal there at the end. You could see the emotions on his face and us knowing the bigger picture. Wow. Well done. And as usual, some crazy, amazing things musically and production-wise going on, and vocally. He has something for the music nerds. He has something for the casual listeners. Now, I take that back. I don't think it's possible to casually listen or casually engage with this stuff. You gotta be all in, because otherwise, you miss the whole point behind its creation. Thanks for being with me on this one. Here are a lot more Ren analysis videos that I have done. And again, if you would like working with your own voice, figuring out how you can be more expressive and creative with it, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. We'll see you for more.